Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the hopeful elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. Gotta give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, the Most High, the Heavenly Father. His Hebrew name is Yahweh, not Yahweh, not Jehovah, not God, not Elohim, not Most High, not Lord, not Yah, not Jah, not Ahia, not Allah. It's Yahweh, and His only begotten Son name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shai. Not Yahshua, not Yeshua, not Jesus Christos, not Jesus Christ, not Serapis Christos, not Yeshaya, not Yehoshua. It's Yahweh Shai. So we got to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakak Quadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, whether you can accept it or not. And a sincere salutation to all the occupants pushing this truth and believing this truth throughout the four winds of the earth, the entire world, waking up the hope for the elect. And shalom to the Akwath who are listening and learning, the few sisters who are listening and learning. I'm Isaiah from GMS Orlando Camp coming into another lesson in truth, facts, faith, and edification, another daily edification. Lord's willing is be edifying. So I titled this lesson, The Reason for Scornful Men. Yesterday at the plantation, I was meditating, thinking about how cold the Lord is to have the truth on the earth, and you just got Jake that just won't get it, man. Like we know it's the Lord. The scriptures say the count of the Lord, the spirit of man is the count of the Lord. It's just cold. I was just meditating how cold it is for truth to be on the earth. Like the hopeful elect been watching, looking for truth. Like before we came into the truth, we were searching. We were searching because in our spirit we knew that baptism, by being a Baptist, a Methodist, a Jehovah Witness, none of these religions, in our spirit we knew that wasn't it, man. It was just something missing. Like your spirit knew that it was just something missing, man. So I was just meditating how cold the Lord is, man. For truth to be on the earth, and Jake still the Lord got their mind just like it's so easy for Jake to just follow what's already in place. And when something new happens, they can't receive it, man. So I was thinking about I was meditating on that. So when I woke up this morning, the scripture that came to my head off the rip, the minute I woke up, was Isaiah 29, which I'm going to read. So it's easy for Jake to just follow what's in place and to not deviate from following these same things, man. Because Jake trimmed their ways, as we was taught from the plantation to now, to just trim our ways to seek love. So it got to it's so bad, as you said in Isaiah 30 and 12, Jake trusting oppression, right? After so long, you start to saying that the guy that oppressed you, which is Stockholm syndrome, right? So, he fed me, he gave me clothes, right? So then you just follow along, which was taught. This truth is all over the four corners of the earth, and Jake is still scoffing, which is it's a balance. It's a balance of the truth. Just like when the Lord brought down the beauty of Israel, and we got to have, right, the one of the precepts I got, the water. When the Lord brought down the beauty of Israel, when you read in Isaiah in Lamentation 2 and 1, when he brought our beauty down, us being on the bottom, right? We was made to follow these things, man. But 1/3 is going to come out of this. So when you read Psalms 10 and 10, they tell you how he crosseth and humbled himself, that the poor may fall by his strong ones. The reason, Jake, is the way they is today, because the Lord put the spirit on these devils to deceive us with everything on the planet, man, that seems like it's right, because there's no order. So then you go to Jeremiah 5 and 28, and they say what? That Israelites have surpassed the deeds of the wicked. Why? Because, as it says in Psalm 10 and 10, he croucheth and humbled himself, that the poor may fall by his strong ones. So Jake just want to follow the ways of the heathens, man, because it's easier to do these things, because in their eyes, this is what seems right. But to the hopeful elect, it's something more, man. They looking for like this one Issachar right at the job. He was like, man, I'm just tired, and he said, I need a change, man. I'm looking for a different change. And I told him, hey man, you're a Hebrew Israelite, so forth and so on. But Jake is looking for more, man. It just some Jakes that don't care about making it to Hollywood. They are looking to be filled with something, man. And what they're looking for is truth. But it's easy for Jake to just follow what's already in place. Just like when you read in Matthew 9 when they say you can't put new wine into an old bottle. Hey, it's just 2/3. And these old bottles, you got to understand, it's back in reincarnation over and over and over. So it's not meant for them to get it. As it said, Ecclesiastes 27:9, birds will result until they like, and truth returning to them that practice in her. So I was just meditating on that. And when I woke up, the precept that I thought about, and it's cold that the Lord put the Spirit on me, was Isaiah 29. So I'm going to read this. This is Isaiah chapter 29, and I'm going to start at verse 17. It reads, it say, is it not yet a very little while? It say, is it not yet a very little while, and Lebanon shall be turned into a fruitful field? So we still waiting patiently. Again, is it not yet a very little while, and Lebanon shall be turned into a fruitful field, and the fruitful field shall be extended as a forest, which is what? Talking about the kingdom of heaven being established, everything being in order under Yahweh. Verse 18, and in that day, which is what? When truth return to them that practice in her, and in that day shall the deaf hear the words of the book, and in the eyes of the blind shall see out of obscurity, which is darkness. It say, and out of darkness. So in that day shall the deaf hear the words of the book, and the eyes of the blind shall see out of obscurity and out of darkness. The meek also shall increase their joy in the Lord, not in the world, in the Lord. Why? Because you can hear and you can see in the land of darkness. The meek also shall increase their joy in the Lord, and the poor among men shall rejoice in the Holy One of Israel. Why is this happening? Why you got 2/3 of Jake that don't want to just, we know it's the Lord, but why is it so easy for these Jakes not to come to the truth? It say verse 20, for the terrible one is brought to naught, and a scorner is consumed. Who is this talking about? The Job 9:24s, right? You say when they came out the caves in Revelation 20 that they was gonna deceive the world, right? It say for the terrible one is brought to naught. This is talking about in the kingdom of heaven. This is talking about when truth returns to the earth, when the earth is refreshed, and we in the kingdom, man. It's happening now, though. It say for the terrible one, which is the Job 9:24s, for the terrible one is brought to naught, and the scorner is consumed. So I was reading this. That's why I came up with the title, The Reason for Scornful Men. Who are the original scorners? The Job 9:24s. So as it say Jeremiah 5:28, our people have surpassed the deeds of the wicked in what? Everything, man. Mainly this truth. This truth, man. It say for the terrible one is brought to naught, and the scorner is consumed into what? Into smoke, right? Obadiah 1:18. And all that watch for iniquity got cut off. Who watched for iniquity? It say he sit as a lion, man, right? In Psalm chapter 10, in 1 Peter 5:8, right? It say, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off. It's these people that's doing this, man. This is why Jake the way they are. It say that make a man an offender for a word. That's why you got scoffers, man, trying to come up against the truth. Why? Because this devil, the Lord put the spirit on these devils to put these things in place to make it easier for Jake to just follow. And when they hear something their spirit know it's right, but it just that carnal flesh, man. That's why I tell you in Romans 8, verse 5, that The hopefully elect have a spiritual flesh, have spiritual knowledge, man. And 2/3, whomever they are, they can't understand because they have a carnal flesh in them that overpowers everything else, man. That's why Paul said in what's that, Romans chapter 7, the things that I don't want to do, that I do, and the things that I do, I don't want to do. Because the carnal flesh, man, the Lord got the spirit in these guys, that the carnal spirit, the carnal flesh just takes over, man. Let's read this again. It say, for the terrible one is brought to naught, and the scorn is consumed. This is when everything gonna go back to our original habitation, man. Peace, righteousness, no more wickedness on the planet. It say, for the terrible one is brought to naught, and the scorner is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off, which is the heathens, that make a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate. See, they lay a snare for the ones that's what speaking uprightly, like it says in Psalm 37, right? All he want to do is, matter of fact, I don't want to deviate too far because I got precepts. All my precepts I got together is pertaining to Isaiah 29. It's Psalm 37. I want to make this point real quick though. Psalm 37 and 14, it reads, the wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy and to slay such as be of upright conversation. So this whole thing, the reason for scornful men is truth, man. The truth is flourishing throughout the four corners of the earth, man. And the only thing they can do is scoff, man. That's it. Because it's nothing you can do against the truth, right? You can try to hinder it, which they doing, because as it said in Matthew 24, when this word goes through four corners of the earth, then shall the end come. The let got to get sealed. So all they can do is try to hinder the word by taking down brother channels, deleting the brother video, right? But you can't stop it. You can hinder it for as long as the Lord lets you. Because it said, what is that, 2 Thessalonians 2? He who will letteth, right? Which is Yahweh Shema Shah. So these things that happen is because of truth, man. Back in Isaiah 29, it reads again. It say, for the terrible one is brought to naught, and the scorner is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off, that make a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate, and turn aside the just for a thing of naught. The reason things are upside down is because of wicked rulership. Verse 21 reads, therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, who redeemed Abraham concerning the house of Jacob, Jacob shall not now be ashamed, neither shall his face now wax pale, which mean to be ashamed. Hey, we standing boldly for this truth, man. And we ain't ashamed of none of this, man. Like they try to make the rape doctrine something to be ashamed at. It's in the law, man. And it was put there for a reason. You think you got righteous men just running around raping women? It's a law put there for a reason, man. And if you're a righteous man of Yahweh Shema Shah, you ain't just finna, in the ancient time, you ain't just finna run around and just rape some woman, man. You ain't just gonna take hold of some woman not knowing. Hey, you know it's consequences for that, man. Consequences and repercussions, man. So we ain't ashamed because you want to say, oh, they rape little kids. Well, where the paperwork at? Of one man in this truth don't rape the woman. So they making that, hey, ain't nobody ashamed. It's the words of the Lord, man. You can't be ashamed at it, right? The only one that get offended is 2/3, man. It say, therefore thus saith the Lord Yahweh, who redeemed Abraham concerning the house of Jacob, Jacob shall not be ashamed. For what? This is our book. This is our customs. This is our heritage. This is our inheritance. Why should we be ashamed, man? It say, Jacob shall not be ashamed, neither shall his face now wax pale, which is to be ashamed. Verse 23. But when he seeth his children, the work of my hands, in the midst of him, they shall sanctify my name and sanctify the Holy One of Jacob, and shall fear the power of Israel. They also that err in spirit shall come to understanding. We go back to the valley of dry bones, right? What they said, and when you read Ezekiel 37, we are cut off from our parts. Well, the Lord brought us back to this, man. He say, search out the ways of thy fathers, man. It say, they also that err in spirit shall come to understanding. And we know you got scoffers out there right now. The Lord gonna bring them home before destruction hit, man. It's gonna be people out there that ain't done nothing, man. The Lord gonna wake them up. It say, they also that err in spirit shall come to understanding. And they that murmured shall learn doctrine, man. So it's a lot of scoffers out there. They're gonna come home, man. But why are they scoffing? Because they trust in oppression. Isaiah 30 and 12, right? They done trim their way to seek love, man. See, it's all about trimming ways to seek love. When you go into the plantation, you have to trim your way before you even get in the door, man. It's just some men, hey, okay, we're gonna trim our ways to go through the door. Hey, but if it come to it, man, we're gonna give them the straight skinny. And if you lose your job for it, so be it. It's only so much of trimming your way you're gonna do, man. These devils ask me all the time, why you don't celebrate holidays at the plantation? And I give them every reason. I give them the reason, man. Listen, the guy was telling y'all about the other day, the GM, back in the spiritual realm. He asked me, can I ask you a question? Why you don't celebrate Thanksgiving? Well, I got Native Americans in my family. That's why I told him I got Native Americans, so-called Mexicans in my genealogy, man, in my family line. So why would I celebrate that when it's wicked? When the cousin keys on Spain, y'all did what they did. So he said, you're right. We did do them wrong. So why would I celebrate it? So, hey, I'm gonna tell you how I might trim my way to just because I gotta work, right? We gotta eat, but I'm not finna just cover up who I am and what I should be doing for the Lord. So anyway, it's a they also that erred in spirit shall come to understanding, and they that murmured shall learn doctrine, man. This is talking about the scorns, the one that scoff, man. They're gonna some of them gonna come up out of that, man. But for this point, hey, it is what it is, the Lord. Now I want to make this point. It say Isaiah 29 and 17. It say, is it not yet a very little while, and Lebanon shall be turned into a fruitful field, and the fruitful field shall be esteemed as a forest. This is us flourishing. This is the kingdom of heaven. Everything being in order. Now I want to get this precept because it say for yet a little while, right? This is Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak. What Yahweh shall say it in John 6 and 44. I will raise you up in the last days, right? It say, and not lie, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. So when we read these scriptures, we understand when the disciples came to Yahweh and asked him, when shall be? When? When is your how are we gonna know you're gonna return? We're gonna see these different things playing out, man. This truth is throughout the four corners, and Jake is waking up, man. Jake is waking up. So, though it seems like it's taking a while, it's really not, man. This is Hebrews, because as it's saying on 2nd Ezra 4, everything have to play out, man. He do not move nor stir the measures, man, nor stir the times until the said measure be fulfilled. This is Hebrews 10 and 37. It reads, for yet a little while, same thing it just say in Isaiah 29, for yet a little while, and he that shall come will come and will not tarry. But what got to happen first? The elect got to get sealed. The truth got to go out through the four corners of the earth, man. Good Jake is scattered everywhere. So he said, prophesy to all nations. The heathens and Israel got to hear it, man. 2/3 and 1/3 got to hear the truth before all this happened. But the point of the lesson is truth have the world in scoff mode, man. The heathens and 2/3 is scoffing, man. So all thing they can do is send out their little counselors like Vocab Malone to try to hinder the truth. So back in Isaiah 29, but this lesson is about this Isaiah 29, 17 through 24. It say, it is not yet. It say, is it not yet a very little while? And Lebanon shall be turned into a fruitful field. Lebanon is Israel, man. And the fruitful field shall be esteemed as a forest. That's Deuteronomy 4, man. All the nations are going to come and flow to Israel, man. Right? Let me get this. Um, let's read this. This is Zechariah chapter 8 and verse 20. This is when the kingdom of heaven is established on earth, man. And Yahweh is ruling the earth, man. This is Zechariah 8 and 20. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, it shall yet come to pass that there shall come people and inhabitants of many cities, and the inhabitants of one city shall go to another, saying, let us go speedily to pray before the Lord Yahweh, and to seek the Lord Yahweh of hosts. I will go also. Yeah, many people and strong nations shall come to seek the Lord Yahweh of hosts in Jerusalem, and to pray before the Lord. Thus shall the Lord of thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, in those days when the kingdom of heaven is established, in those days it shall come to pass that 10 men shall take hold out of all languages, which is the 17 heathen nations, or the 16, because one of them going to be done away with. That 10 men shall take hold out of all languages of the nations, even shall take hold of the skirt of him that is a Jew, saying, we will go with you, for we have heard that God is with you. This is the kingdom of heaven, man. Hey, because if they don't, they lands, hey, they ain't gonna have no water. Things is gonna be turned upside down for them, man. So back in Isaiah 29, moving on, it's Isaiah 29 and verse 18. It say, in that day shall the deaf hear the words of the book, and the eyes of the blind shall see out of obscurity and out of darkness. I want to deal with this. And in that day shall the deaf hear the words of the book. 2/3, you can scream it to them, but they don't hear it, man. They don't hear it. They can't see it. They say in that day shall the deaf hear, meaning you're going to understand, man, the words of the book, and the eyes of the blind shall see out of obscurity and out of darkness. This is Isaiah 43 and verse 8. It reads, this is verse 7. Now let's read Isaiah 43 and 6. It reads, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let's read verse 5. It say, fear not, for I am with thee. I will bring thy seed from the east and gather thee from the west. I will say to the north, give up, and to the south, keep not back. Bring my sons from far and my daughters from the ends of the earth, even every one that is called by my name, for I have created him for my glory. If you're not called, if you are not called by the name of Yasha Allah, you are not the Lord's, man. Tell you that in Romans 9. It say, I have formed him, yeah, I have made him. Bring forth the blind people that have ears, Salakia. Bring forth the blind people that have eyes, and the deaf that have ears. Let all nations be gathered together, and let the people be assembled. Who? Israel. Who among them can declare this? You see this? Let all the nations be gathered together, and let the people be assembled. Who among them can declare this and show us former things? What former things? That the Lord only loved Israel, man. Coming out of Egypt, going into the land of Israel, right? Former things, man, because he don't change. That's why he say in Malachi 3 and 6, I do not change. Therefore, you sons of Jacob are not consumed, man. Who can declare these things out of all the nations? It's saying right here, only the hopeful elect, man. Only Israelites can declare these things, man. Out of all 18 nations, only Israel, which is one nation, you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians, only you can understand this, man. And inside of that, it's only the hopeful elect. It say, let all the nations be gathered together, and let the people be assembled. Who among them can declare this and show us former things? Let them bring forth their witnesses, that they may be justified, or let them hear and say, it is true. This is only talking about Israelites, man. Back in Isaiah 29. Oh, I'm sorry, Shalakia. It's Isaiah chapter 9, verse 2, making a point about the ears that can hear and the eyes that see. Isaiah 9 and 2. The people that walk in darkness have seen a great light. They that dwell in the land of the shadow of death, which is Babylon the Great, first and foremost, upon them have the light shine, the hopeful elect. Verse 3. Thou hast multiplied the nation and not increased the joy. The joy before thee, it said they joy before thee according to the joy in harvest, which is what we see the hopeful elect. We see them raising up, man. And it say, and as men rejoice when they divide the spoil. Let's read this again. Thou hast multiplied the nation and not increased the joy. They joy before thee according to the joy in harvest. Let me go back to Isaiah 29. Because this is what it say. It's Isaiah 29 and 19. It say, the meek also shall increase their joy in the Lord Yahweh. Not according to the world, according to we see the hopeful elect raising up. We see all the prophecies playing out. So we getting closer, right? Look up for your redemption draweth nigh, man. We see these things playing out. It say, the meek also shall increase their joy in the Lord, and the poor among men shall rejoice in the Holy One of Israel. So, back in Isaiah 9, the only one that can understand this is the hopeful elect, man. It say, thou hast multiplied the nation and not increased the joy. Because we ain't rejoicing in the world, man. We rejoicing in his truth. It say, they joy before thee according to the joy in harvest, and as men rejoice when they divide the spoil. So, when you can hear and you can see, this wisdom not your understanding, man. Hey, give all praise to Yahweh Shema Shah, man. Because you could still be in the world bugged out, doing whatever, man. On the apostles and the elders coming boys scoffing, and young brother coming boys scoffing, man. But he's giving us this eye salve, man. What is that? Revelation chapter 3. So this is Isaiah 59. I'm making these points out of these few verses in Isaiah 29, man, because it's cold. Hey, the spirit jumped on me to go straight to Isaiah 29, man. It's a Isaiah 59 and 15. It say, yeah, truth faileth, and he that departed from evil maketh himself a prey. And the Lord saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judgment. So, hey, this truth, man, this is the problem. This is the reason why everything is the way it is, man. Hey, everything that's been going on, the apostles been telling us, hey, for years, man. All these G7 summits, everything these secret meetings, man. It's about this truth, man. It's about putting a stop to this truth, man. Because when this truth get to the four corners of the earth, they know that their kingdom will fall, man. So they're trying to find a way to hinder it. So the reason I read Isaiah 59 and 15, because Isaiah 29 reads this. Let's read it again. Isaiah 29 in verse 20, it said, for the terrible one is brought to naught, and the scorner is consumed, which is talking about the Job 9:24s, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off, that make a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate. So Isaiah 59 said in 15, yeah, truth faileth, and he that departed from evil maketh himself a prey. This is a problem, man. Truth is a problem, man. And the Lord saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judgment. Hey, why? Because we need more Jakes to come into this, man, which is the Lord. But the point is, this is St. John chapter 4 and 38, and it reads, I sent you to reap that whereon you bestowed no labor. Other men labor, and you are entered into their labors. What the other verse say? The harvest is plenteous, but the laborers are few, man. We need more laborers, man. back in Isaiah 29, it say, is it not yet a very little while, and Lebanon shall be turned into a fruitful field, and the fruitful field shall be esteemed as a forest. This is when the kingdom of heaven is established, and all Israel, all righteous, man. And in that day shall the deaf hear the words of the book, which is what? The valley of dry bones, man. Some got the breath, right? No, I'm sorry. Some got the flesh on them. The others got the breath and the spirit, man. It say, "In the eyes of the blind shall see out of obscurity, and out of darkness. The meek also shall increase their joy in the Lord, and the poor among men shall rejoice in the Holy One of Israel." It say, "And in that day shall the deaf hear the words of the book," man. When you go to Malachi, it's beautiful, man. Malachi 3, and I'm gonna start at 13. It say, "Your words have been stout against me," said the Lord Yahweh. "Yet ye say, what have we spoken so much against thee?" Like, they scoffing and don't know they scoffing at the truth, man. Like, they think they just some that just made up, like these spiritual fathers the Lord set us up with, like they just came, like they just bringing this truth out of nowhere, man, out of nothing. Not even going to look up these things. It said, "Ye have said it is vain to serve God, and what profit is it that we have kept his ordinance, and that we have walked mournfully before the Lord Yahweh of hosts?" They don't want to walk mournfully, meaning they don't want to follow the order, man. Not to be rejoicing, having parties and picnics and playing, man. Taking the Passover as entertainment, man. It saying now, we call the proud happy. Yeah, they that work wickedness are set up. Yeah, they that tempt God are even delivered. To what? Their folly, man. Their wickedness, until they are not, man. Till they are consumed, man. It say, "Then they that feared the Lord Yahweh spake often one to another, and the Lord hearkened and heard it, and a book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, and that thought upon his name." So it said in Isaiah what? Talking about this book. Isaiah 29 and 18, it say, "In that day shall the deaf hear the words of the book." So it said in Malachi 3 and 16 that a book, let's read it again. Malachi 3 and 17 and 16, it say, then they that feared the Lord Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh Shah, spake often one to another, and the Lord hearkened and heard it, and a book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared the Lord, and that thought upon his name. "And they shall be mine," said the Lord Yahweh of hosts, "in that day when I make up my Jews, and I will spare them as a man spareth his own son that serveth him." And this is when you're reading Isaiah 10, right, verse 20, only a remnant is going to be spared, man. It say, "Then shall ye return and discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serve God and him that serve him not." The lesson I did yesterday on this guy, Damon Calvin, the Lord can very well bring him out of that, man. But at this moment right now, you hollering about Yahweh being Yahweh, then you're gonna say ain't no J's in the Hebrew, but you hollering about Yahweh, there's no E's in the Hebrew. So that just show you, man, like the Lord is cold, man, for real. So back in Isaiah 29 and verse 20, it said, "For the terrible one is brought to naught, and the scorner is consumed," which is who? Job 9:24, "and all that watch for iniquity are cut off." It says that make a man an offender for a word. Who made these? Who got these guys the way they are today? The Job 9:24. It say, "And lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate, and turn aside the just for a thing of naught," man. You doing this for what? Because they want the truth to go out, man. They have no other reason. They have no other reason why they hate speech. What hate speech? This is truth speaks, man. This truth speech. They have no other reason but to hinder the word, man. It's a problem. It say, therefore, verse 22, therefore thus saith the Lord Yahweh, who redeemed Abraham concerning the house of Jacob. Jacob shall not now be ashamed, neither shall his face now wax pale. Well, let me get this. This is Isaiah 45 and 17. Hey, you teaching this truth, man. You standing firmly for Yahweh Shema Shah. Hey, the Lord said, and Yahweh Shah said, Matthew 10 and 32, he that confess my name before men will I confess before my Father, man. You have no reason to be ashamed of this. This is truth, man. This is who we are. Revelation chapter 2, verse 4 and 5 say, this is our first love, man. This is our first love, man. This is who we are, man. We are truth, man. Isaiah 45 and 17. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord Yahweh with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed, nor confounded world without end, man. The world of the Heavenly Father Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh Shai, are you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians, man. And you have no reason to be ashamed of truth, man. It say, ye shall not be ashamed, nor confounded. Let's get that. This is make sure I'm reading the right precepts. Salakia. This is bear with me, Salakia. Man. Let me get this other one. Now I'll come back to this. Let me read this. This is I'm looking for another one though. Man, hold on. Salakia. I gotta find this. Let me get this one and I'll come back to that. This is Ecclesiastes 24. And I'm gonna start at verse. I'm gonna start at verse 19. It reads, it say, come unto me, all ye that be desirous of me, and fill yourselves with my fruits. For my memorial is sweeter than honey, and my inheritance than the honeycomb. It said, they that eat me shall yet be hungry, and they that drink me shall yet be thirsty. He that obeyeth me shall never be confounded, and they that work by me shall not do amiss. All these things are the book of the covenant of the Most High Power, even the law which Moses commanded for inheritance unto the congregation of Jacob. So the point is about not being confounded, man. I'm looking for this verse. It tell you that in Peter's too. Um, I thought it was First Peter's 1. I usually bring it out. I ain't read it in a minute. Salakia. It talks about being confounded, not being confounded. Hold on. Maybe First Timothy. Man, I hate when I can't find some. Salakia. Bear with me. I need to find this, man. I might have just gone on. If you brothers can find it, post it up on the comment board for me. It's in Peter's though. Talks about the conversation. Right, the water. I knew it was one. I thought it was one. I'm in First Peter 1. The water. The water. This is Kazak Ben Yehuda. Hey, the water, brother. Because I be having a problem. I be getting pissed off when I can't find something. Kazak Ben Yehuda. This is First Peter's 2 and 6. Going back into Isaiah 45 and 17 about not being ashamed, man, nor confounded. We have no reason. It's a First Peter 2 and 6. Wherefore also it is contained in the scripture, behold, I lay in Zion a chief cornerstone, elect precious, and he that believeth on him, and he that believeth on him shall not be confounded. Right? So when this guy was talking about Yahweh ben Yahweh came down and then he went back and left us a comforter, well, you exiting out Yahweh, man. Which tell you that in Revelation 11, right? When it say the place of the where their spiritual was dead, right? And they it say what matter of fact, what the Lord was crucified, right? So you exiting out Yahweh, man. Same thing these devils did. That's what Jake doing. Why? Because they following the ways that just seem easy to them, man. It's easier to just follow the ways that's already set in place, man. Well, the Lord said time is going to come when things are going to change, man. It will not stay the same. At the same Habakkuk 1 and 5, what it say? It had been told to you, yet you would not believe it, man. This is First Peter 2 and 7. It say, unto you, therefore, which believe, he is precious, but unto them which be disobedient, which is beautiful, because I was going into that too. It said the ones that fall back into the obedience of Hamashiach in 2 Corinthians 10, right? It say, but unto them which be disobedient, the stone which the builders disallowed, the same is made the head of the corner. So how you going to leave out your Habashah? Nah, this is Romans chapter 9 and 33. It reads, and it is written, it say, as it is written, behold, I lay in Zion a stumbling block and rock of offense, and whosoever believeth on him shall not be ashamed, man. You have no reason to be ashamed because this is the truth, man. And it's a problem. So happy are ye that's doing this work for Yahweh Shema Shah, man, because it's confounding, it's destroying these people, man. And as always, when you read Jeremiah 28 and 8, right? The prophet that been before me, right? Prophesied both against what? Many countries and kingdom of war and evil and pestilence, man. This word had to go out and then the kingdom going to fall, man. And as the word is going out now, brothers everywhere is sending up prayers. Hey, you can see the bricks is falling from this place, man. It's falling piece by piece. So back to this. The water for that precept, I don't know why I got stuck. Because I usually bring it out a lot when I read that Ecclesiastes 24. Hey, we have no reason to be ashamed, man. And following Yahweh Shema Shah, there's no being confounded, man. This back in Isaiah 29. I'm finna finish this. It say, verse 23. It say, but when he see of his children, the work of my hands in the midst of him, they shall sanctify my name and sanctify the Holy One of Jacob, and shall fear the power of Israel. They also that err in spirit shall come to understanding, and they that murmur shall learn doctrine. So it's going to be a lot of people that's going to wake up out of that, man. But what we see right now going on is the Lord just got them, hey, bugged out, man. Calling on Yahweh ben Yahweh. The Lord name ain't important, man. This is Psalms 92. This is Psalms 92, and I'm gonna start at verse 11. It reads, it's Psalms 92 and 11. It reads, my eye also shall see my desire on my enemies. What's our desire on our enemies, man? Hey, the Yahweh Shema Shai, hey, do what they do, man. Which is which is what's prophecy, man, to bring down the kingdom, man. Right? My eye also shall see my desire on my enemies. Now hold on, let me get this. Isaiah 26. I didn't have this, but it just came to me. Because what's our desire, man? Our desire is Yahweh Shema Shah. It's Isaiah 26. I'm gonna start at 7. It say the way of the just is uprightness. It say thou most upright do its way the path of the just. Yeah, in the way of thy judgments, O Yahweh, have we waited for thee. The desire of our soul is to thy name, and to be the remembrance of thee. It said, with my soul have I desired thee in the night. Yeah, with my spirit within me will I seek thee early. It said, with my soul have I desired thee in the night, man. Where we living at? In a land of darkness, man. It say, yeah, with my spirit within me will I seek thee early, for when thy judgments are in the earth, the inhabitants of the world will learn righteousness. You're going to learn it, man. Either on the right hand or the left, you're going to learn the righteousness of the Lord, because it tell you that the Lord is all righteous, man. With my soul have I desired thee in the night, yet with my spirit within me will I seek thee early. They tell you that in what is that? Ecclesiastes 12 and 1, man. Seek the Lord now before the evil days come. It say, for when thy judgments are in the earth, the inhabitants of the world will learn righteousness. Now hold on. Let me get this. This is Psalm 64. It said, because they will learn righteousness. Show you how cold the Lord is. This is Psalm 64 in verse 4. Blessed is the man whom thy choosest, and causes to approach unto thee, that he may dwell in thy courts. We shall be satisfied with the goodness of thy house, which is a spiritual house, right? 1 Peter 2 and 5. Ye also, as lively stones, are built up a spiritual house, right? A holy priesthood. It say, even of thy holy temple. Verse 5 is the beautiful point. By terrible things in righteousness wilt thou answer us. It said, by terrible things in righteousness, man. So going through the trials and tribulations, following of the footsteps of Yahweh, this is the Lord putting you through the furnace of affliction, man. By terrible things in righteousness. The world can't understand, man. Well, if this supposed to be the God of the Bible and this supposed to be y'all God, why he got y'all? Why y'all on the bottom? By terrible things in righteousness, man. This will make you appreciate the kingdom much more. You got to earn it, man. Ain't no just walking into the kingdom this time. You have to earn it, man. By terrible things in righteousness wilt thou answer us, O power of our salvation, who art the confidence of all the ends of the earth, and of them that are far off upon the sea, which is Jake scattered around the four corners of the earth, man. Now, back in Psalms 92, in verse 11, my eye also shall see my desire on my enemies, and my ears shall hear my desire of the wicked that rise up against me. What is this? These niggas standing out here teaching the word. Hey, we can't get them off their pivot. No, man. Standing in great boldness. It say, and my ears shall hear my desire of the wicked that rise up against me. They hate this truth, man. They hate men that's not taking the bad. Hey, what's that? Isaiah 33 and 15. He that walketh uprightly and speaketh upright, he that walketh righteous and speaketh uprightly, you can't give him no, you can't deceive him with money, man. So they hate this. Why? Because this is the downfall. It tell you in Isaiah, what is it? Isaiah 13. Hey, lift you up a banner, man. Right? Lift you up a banner. Matter of fact, let's read that. Because this is the problem, man, of the earth, man. This truth, man. Everything is about truth, man. The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see, lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain. What's the highest mountain on the planet? Babylon the Great. Exalt the voice unto them, shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the nobles. And this is why I tell you in Ezekiel 12 and Ecclesiastes 12 and 3, that the keepers of the house shall tremble, man. They already trembling. We just don't see them trembling. But they sit behind their walls, these Spick spooks, porch monkeys, wetbacks, and savages. We can't stop them. They trembling, man. It say, lift you up a banner upon the high mountain, exalt the voice unto them, shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the nobles. Yeah, yeah, man. That's what this talking about. This truth, man. And call all you how about Shema Shah to have, hey, as I read in Isaiah Psalm 65, it say, blessed be those men that thou hast chosen to come into thy courts, man. Nobody know if they chosen. Hey, but your fruit, man. What you teaching? Psalm 92, again 11, it say, my eye also shall see my desire on my enemies, which is the Lord, Heavenly Father Yahweh sending Yahweh Shah back to get busy, man. It say, and my ears shall hear my desire of the wicked that rise up against me. Verse 12, the righteous shall flourish like the palm tree. He shall grow like a cedar in Lebanon. Those that be planted in the house of the Lord shall flourish in the courts of our power, which I read in Psalm 65. Those that are planted, hey, planted meaning you can't be moved. These are the ones that standing boldly. Let's prove that. This is Colossians chapter 2 and verse 6. It reads, as ye have therefore received Hamashiach, Yahweh Shah the Lord, so walk ye in him, rooted and built up in him. When you are rooted, when you are planted, you cannot be moved, man. You got to get, hey, when you got these full furnished trees out here that's full of energy. They ain't dead. They ain't dried out or rotted. When they got life in them, hey, they ain't gonna fall, man. Their roots run deep. It gotta be a fellow to come and cut them down, man. Which that's why the tree's gonna rejoice, man. When this devil go down, man. It say rooted and built up in him, established in the faith, as you have been taught, abounding therein with thanksgiving, man. So being planted is you can't be moved, man. And that's a problem because all you're doing is standing, speaking truth, man. And if you can't be moved, hey, they're gonna have to come with force to move you. And that's when the water's gonna come in like a flood, man. Because they can't move you, so they're gonna have to force you to be moved, man. They're gonna have to cut you down. Ain't no just, hey, you gotta go. No, you're gonna have to get cut down, man. So back in Psalm 92, in verse 12, it said, the righteous shall flourish like the palm tree, he shall grow like a cedar in Lebanon. Those that be planted in the house of power, and those that be planted in the house of the Lord Yahweh shall flourish in the courts of our power. It say they shall still bring forth fruit in old age. And when I read this nigga going off, man. Verse 14 again, they shall still bring fruit in old age. Who is this? It's our spiritual fathers, man. They shall be fat and flourishing, man. Who is this bug out nigga to say the apostle need to step down? Who is you? Where you learned that, man? The Lord set us up spiritual fathers, man. Again, they shall still bring fruit in old age. What fruit? What we learned from? Go read 1 Corinthians 4 and 15 and go to the blue letter and see what fathers mean. When Paul said you might have 10,000 instructors, but yet not many fathers. Look at the word fathers, man. Them that instilled in you what was instilled in them, man. So for you niggas, all you demon ass niggas to come up against the spiritual men who the Lord set up, hey, repent or be destroyed, man. Just like that. It say they shall still bring fruit. Hold on. The righteous shall flourish like a palm tree. He shall grow like a cedar in Lebanon. Those that be planted in our apostles been standing firmly, man. It say, those that be planted in the house of the Lord Yahweh shall flourish in the courts of our power. They shall still bring forth fruit in old age. They shall be fat and flourishing to show that the Lord Yahweh is upright. Who's showing us this? It say, he is my rock, and there is no unrighteousness in him, man. Who's showing us this? Who showed us this, man? You didn't do it. We didn't learn from you, you demon ass nigga. Salakia. Moving on. This is Psalms 85. It's Psalms 85 in verse 8. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start at 6. Psalms 85 and 6. It say, "Wilt thou not revive us again, that thy people may rejoice in thee?" Because that's our desire, to rejoice in Yahweh by Shem Shah. "Show us thy mercy, O Yahweh, and grant us thy salvation. I will hear what the power, what power the Lord will speak." Is this lesson hearing, man? We can hear and we can see and we know, man. Like the Lord told the chick in John 44, hey, you know not what you worship, man. We know what we worship, man. We know what we worship and why we worshiping. We know, man. It say, I will hear what power the Lord Yahweh will speak, for he will speak peace unto his people, not all people, his people, and to his saints. But let them not turn again to folly. Surely his salvation is nigh them that fear him. Hey, as it said in Ecclesiastes 19 and 18, hey, the beginning, hey, fear, man. Fear is the beginning of this truth, man, for you when you come in. It say, surely his salvation is nigh them that fear him, that glory may dwell in our land. Mercy and truth are met together. Righteousness and peace have kissed each other. Truth shall spring out of the earth, and righteousness shall look down from heaven. What's the righteousness that looking down from heaven? When you go to Deuteronomy 32 and 2, it said the Lord word shall distill. Let's read that. It's Deuteronomy 32 and verse 2. It reads, I'm gonna start at 1. Give ear, O ye heavens. And you see how crazy that is? Because I was looking for this the other day when I was saying how when the Lord, when it's crazy how I couldn't even find it, but it's right here now. When the Lord, when they asked the Lord, when shall the kingdom of heaven appear? And he told me, come out with observation. The Lord called us heavens, man, because it's in us. The spiritual temple, man. Okay? It's crazy. I found one in Isaiah, but it was another I'm looking for. Deuteronomy 32 and 2. It said, give ear, O ye heavens. He's talking to Israel, man. And I will speak and hear, O earth, the words of my mouth. He's talking to you Israelites, man, to the hopeful elect, man. Because it's not heaven coming out with observation. So when John saw, which I went to the lesson I did, when John saw, it said he saw a new heaven, a new earth coming down out of heaven, right? It was talking about Israel coming out of the chariots, man. It said, my doctrine shall drop as the rain, my speech shall distill as the dew, as the small rain upon the tender herb. And it said the same thing in Isaiah 44, man. It say, as the small rain upon the tender herb, and as the showers upon the grass, my doctrine shall drop down as the rain. My speech shall distill as the dew. To fall upon who, man? The hopeful elect, man. Let's read this again. Isaiah 85 in verse 11. It say, truth shall spring out of the earth. So like the Psalm 85 and 11. Truth shall spring out of the earth, and righteousness shall look down from heaven. It's truth, man. It say, yeah, the Lord Yahweh shall give that which is good, which is his due, his doctrine, and our land shall yield her increase. Righteousness shall go before him and shall set us in the way of his steps. Our goings of Yahweh Shema Shah. Righteousness shall go before him and shall set us in the way of his steps, man. Cold, man. Can't make this up, man. This is Ecclesiastes 27:9, and it reads, the birds will resort unto their like. So will truth return unto them that practice in her. It said the birds will resort unto their like. So will truth turn unto them that practice in her. What the Lord call us? Birds, right? Let's get this. Cold, man. Cold. Jeremiah 12 and 9 reads, My heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. The birds round about are against her. Come ye assemble all the beasts of the field come to devour. It said, My heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. The birds round about are against her. So, Ecclesiastes 27:9 again. The birds will resort unto their like, right? The Lord said all the other birds are against us, man. 18 nations on the planet. You so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians are one nation. There are 17 other nations, and they hate your guts, man. They hate you, man. Why? Deuteronomy chapter 4, man. The Lord gave us his laws, statutes, and commandments, man. So these nations will look at us. As I said, was that Matthew 5? We are the salt of the earth, man. We are. We are the light that set on the hill, man. So these 17 heathen nations, they hate you, man. While you trimming your ways for these devils, they hate you, man. He said the birds will resort unto their light, so will truth return unto them that practice in her. So the only one that can receive this, hey, like I said, like the scriptures say, it's gonna be ones that's gonna wake up. The Apostle House, hey, the Lord's still activating Jake, man. So who knows? Who knows? This is Second Ezra, chapter 6 and 27. Hey, it's all for truth's sake, man. It's all for truth's sake. Second Ezra 6 and 27. For evil shall be put out. And that's what the Lord said in Jeremiah 49 and 10, that he will make Esau bear, man. He's making this devil bear, man. Right? How is he being made bear? From the truth, man. Everything is out now. As I say was that Matthew 10 and 26. And then the one that's in Luke 8 and 17, everything that was hid shall be made manifest and come abroad and revealed, man. So ain't no more secret, because the Job 9 and 24 secret was when their power was when they was in secret. So now the world know who these devils are, man. It say, for evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. How do you quench fire, man? With water. What the Lord said, this truth is represented as water, man. Rivers of living water, man. Water. Hey, but the only one can put that fire out is Yahweh Shema Shai, man. Truth. Living waters, man. So it said the deceit shall be quenched, which is what? Like into a fire, man. Deceit is like fire, man. It's burning Jacob, it's destroying Jake, man. But truth, which is water, hey, it's quenching all the wickedness of the planet, man. That's why these devils got to come in with their own floods, man. Which is left with what? The sword. It said, for evil shall be put out, and the sea shall be quenched. As for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall be overcome, and the truth, which have been so long without fruit, shall be declared, man. So they hurting, man. They hurting. Why? Because plantation Christianity is a stronghold. It's a stronghold, man. Here we go. 2 Corinthians 10 and 4 reads, For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through Yahweh Shema Shai to the pulling down of strongholds. Christianity is losing, man. It's losing. It's sitting on the ground right now, man. Only ones that's following plantation Christianity is these 2/3 bug outs, man. That the Lord got the spirit on to keep following this madness, man. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, because this is a spiritual battle, man. This is a spiritual battle. Standing in great boldness is a spiritual battle, man. But mighty through power to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations, which we are living in, and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of Yahweh Shema Shai. Now, who on the planet is exalting themselves against the scriptures? It ain't the Chinese and the Japanese, even though they got their idols that they worship. It ain't the Iranians. Okay, who is it, man? It's not Ishmael or Elam or Ham or Moab or Ammon. It's Edom, man. He is the one that exalted himself against. It say, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of power, and bringing into captivity, which is the point, every thought to the obedience of Yahweh Shah Mashiach, man. So the ones that's coming to the obedience is who? The ones that took on the yoke of Yahweh Shema Shah, like I said, Matthew 11, so now verse 28, man. The Lord say, come unto me, right? Take my yoke, for my burden is easy, right? His burden is easy, man. His yoke is light, man. It say, and bring into captivity every thought to the obedience of a Mashiach, and having in a readiness to revenge all disobedience. So what are these guys talking about? About, hey, if you're going off, and you will get rebuked, man. Start with the apostles, great millstone, to the elders, to the younger brothers, you will get rebuked because you're going off, man. It say, and having in a readiness to revenge all disobedience when your obedience is fulfilled, man. Hey, so now, hey, you're going off, man. You can't try to, as I said, Matthew 7, you can't try to get something out of somebody else eye and you got something in yours. But when you're doing what's necessary in the eyes of Yahweh Shema Shah, now you're able to do these things, man. It's an order. Once you repent and cleanse yourself as much as possible, man, it's in a readiness to revenge all disobedience, man. And it's going to continue until your house shall return. If you're going off, you will get rebuked, man. You will. Whomever it is, man. This is how we came to the truth, by getting rebuked. Seeing the Lord do things totally different than what we was taught growing up. So it's a part of the truth, man. This is because I want Yahweh to put up Second Maccabees 15 and 16. It say, take this holy sword, a gift from power, with the which thou shalt wound the adversaries. And what? Hebrews 4 and 12, man. These people is hurt, man. Because what we're doing, we're casting down imaginations. It's a pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations, and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of Yahweh Shema Shah. So guess what? Religion, Christianity is an imagination, man. It's not real. It was made to keep you binded up as a stronghold, man. It's not real. The Lord made us spiritual, and He gave us law, statute, and commandments, man. Religion is man-made. And now that the truth is destroying it, now they got their counselors coming out. They're trying to hinder, they try to hinder because, hey, nothing else works, man. And the Lord is raising up his men and his women, and they can't stop it. They can't stop it, man. Christianity has lost millions, possibly billions, man, because this truth is flourishing throughout the four corners of the earth, man. And there's nothing they can do about it. It's nothing they can do about it, man. This is Adam now he put up 2 Peter 1:19. We have also a more sure word of prophecy, and that's the difference, man, in truth and religion, man. Prophecy, man. Cause hey, like Elder Yashua always going to, man. Hey, the apostles too. They don't want to deal with prophecy about King David, man. They don't want to deal with prophecy about the seed line of the Hebrew Israelites, man. They got to come back into power. They got to come back into power because it's prophecy, man. It was already spoken from the beginning of from the beginning of this Bible to the end. Everything in here is about so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. You 17 heathen nations is just casualties of war and collateral damage, man. From Genesis to Revelation, you 17 heathen nations are just collateral damage and casualties of war, man. This is about Hebrew Israelites, man. This is the brother that kept always say, this is a private council in public places, man. That's what it is, man. It's we have also a more sure word of prophecy, whereunto ye do well that you take heed, as unto a light that shineth in a dark place, until the day done and the day start arising in your hearts, man, which now we have it, man. Right, brother. Because I bring you how to pull up Fubu for us, by us, man. Period. Period, man. Let me get some more of these precepts and I'm gonna close out. Man, hey, it's beautiful, man. Hey, Kala, Wahawad, like Yahweh Shema shot for this truth, man. For real, man. Hey, because without this, we're gonna die a grievous death, man. Without this truth, you're gonna die a grievous death, man. For real. This is this because I bring you how Jeremiah 10 and 23. Oh Yahweh, I know that the way of man is not in himself. It is not in man that walketh to direct his steps. Oh, oh man, let me go back. Because it said what? What was that? Psalms? Was it Psalms 85? Let me see. Might have been 92. Yeah. Psalm 85 and 13 say, righteousness shall go before him and shall set us up in the way of his steps, man. It's the Lord all the time, man. Jeremiah 10 and 23 again. Oh Yahweh, I know that the way of man is not in himself. And these pop-ups, man. I don't pay for nothing to cover this and they still be popping up. Oh Yahweh, I know that the way of man is not in himself. It is not in man that walketh to direct of his steps. It's the Lord, man. And while Jake is running around here playing games, the Lord is bringing prophecies, man. This goes out by Yahweh, Jeremiah 2 and 33. Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love? Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways. That's what the Lord said in Jeremiah 5 and 28. Israel has 2/3 have surpassed the deeds of the wicked, man. Because this devil, hey, Jake, trusting oppression. This devil, he was it Psalm 10 and 10? He croucheth and humble himself that the poor may fall by his strong ones, man. Jake really believe this devil can save them, man. They believe this. They believe it wholeheartedly, man. They believe the devil can save them. And to tell you in Jeremiah 17, hey, cursed be he that what? Let's read it. Jeremiah 17 and verse 5. It reads, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, cursed be the man that trusteth in man and maketh flesh his arm and whose heart departeth from the Lord. Jake trusting these devils, man. I gotta get one more. Let me get this. This is Psalms. I think it's 144 if I ain't mistaken. No. Let me get this. There's a couple of them I like to read. Let me see. This is Psalms 118 and 8. It reads, it is better to trust in the Lord Yahweh than to put confidence in man. If you trusting in man, you're gonna lose, man. And you're gonna die a grievous death. It was another one in Psalms. It say, put down your trust in man, for he cannot save you. I forgot where it's at right off. I got to highlight it. But anyway, that was the point I want to make on that. Jake trusting in these devils, man. They really believe these guys going to save them. And when you read Isaiah 30, 1 through 3, when you read Isaiah 31, 1 through 3, it say, he that's doing the helping and he that's the one that's getting helped, they shall fall together, man. So if you read these scriptures, and you see that the Lord say, if you trust in this, you trust in any government, you're going to fall, man. What is it, Isaiah 13 and 15? They that are found shall be thrust through, and they that are joined to them shall fall by the sword, man. Knowing these things, why would you follow this, man? But it's Yahweh Shema Shah. So It said, why trimmest thou thy way to seek love? Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways. What wicked ones? 2/3, man. This is Kazak Bunyahoda, Psalms 40 and 4. Blessed is that man that maketh the Lord his trust, and respecteth not the proud, nor such as turn aside to lies. Beautiful. And what it said in Isaiah 28, they have they on the falsehood had they hid themselves, right? Let me read that point. Because this is Jake. The brother put it up right there, man. Jake trusting lies, man. Let's prove it. Isaiah 28 and 15. Because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement. It said, when the overflowing scourges shall pass through, it shall not come unto us, for we have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood have we hid ourselves. That's 2/3 of Jake, man. These pastors, these churches got the 501c3, right? But it tell you when the overflowing scourge shall come through, it shall come to you, man. The Lord say when you keep reading that chapter, and there's also in 2 Ezra 16, starting at verse 68 and 69, you people is going to fall. You're going to be trotted on the foot first, man. You're going to be trotted on the foot first. Beautiful precept, man. Let me see. Because I bring you out of Proverbs 15 and 9. The way of the wicked is an abomination unto the Lord Yahweh, but he loveth him that followeth after righteousness. Beautiful. Verse 10. Correction is grievous unto him that forsaketh the way, and he that hateth reproof shall die. Hell and destruction are before the Lord Yahweh. How much more than the hearts of the children of men? Cold, man. Verse 12. A scorner loveth not one that reproveth him, neither will he go unto the wise. Verse 13. A merry heart maketh a cheerful countenance, but by sorrow of the heart, the spirit is broken, man. It's a merry heart maketh a cheerful countenance, but by sorrow of the heart, the spirit is broken, man. Cold. Oh, let me read this. I'm gonna close out. I don't be too much more longer. There's a lot of things going on, a lot of brothers doing lessons. This is our Kazak Bunyahow to put out Romans 8 and 6. For to be carnal minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. Verse 7. Because the carnal mind is enmity against power, for it is not subject to the law of power, neither indeed can be. Verse 8 reads, so then, they that are in the flesh cannot please Yahweh Shema Shai, man. Period. Yeah, man. But yeah, y'all got some, hey, brother, you be lighting the comment board up, brother. Fire. But yeah, hey, so, Lord willing, this was edifying. Got to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rikak Wadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach well, who are the apostles and elders over all of Israel, whether accepted or not. In the sincere salutation to all the argument pushing this truth and believing this truth toward the four winds of the earth, the entire world, waking up the hopeful elect, and shalom to that walk who are listening and learning. There are a few sisters who are listening and learning. I gotta read this brother precept. This is basic wisdom, Galatians 5 and 7. It reads, ye did run well. It say, who did hinder you that ye should not obey the truth? Hey, that's plain. Again, Galatians 5 and 7, it say, ye did run well. Who did hinder you that you should not obey the truth? Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man. If they don't want you to get it, you ain't gonna get it, which I meant to mention too. Proverbs 16 and 33. It said, a lot is cast into the lap, but the whole disposal thereof is of the Lord. So when you think about the lot is cast into the lap, right? Ezekiel 18 and 20 say, the righteousness of the righteous shall be upon him, and the wickedness of the wicked shall be upon him. So if the Lord don't want you to get it, you ain't gonna get it. As a brother put right here, because out on your holler, Amos 3 and 7, should the Lord Yahweh power do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets, man. Oh, see, there it is. Let me get this. Salakia, pause around lie, just one lie. I'm gonna read this, I'm gonna close out. This is Deuteronomy 29 and 29. It reads, it said the secret things belong unto the Lord our power, but those things which are revealed belong unto us and to our children forever, that we may do all the words of this law. So the Lord gave us what we need to get salvation, man. Right? With that Hebrews 6 and 9, things that accompany salvation, though we does speak, man. Anything outside of that, man, you're being over deep. You're trying to be super righteous, over deep, man. You're trying to be extra, man. As it says, what is that? Ecclesiastes 7. Why should you destroy yourself, man? Trying to be super deep, man, and over righteous. The Lord don't need you to do that, man. All we gotta do is follow the blueprint. We have spiritual fathers set up. Hey, so until next time, I say shalom, wa abba ball, the water for tuning in. May Yahweh Shema shall continue to bless you in your houses. Stay prayed up. Hey, the water for the precepts, man. The water. Your brothers got the comment board on fire, man. Hey, shalom. Shalom. Boy, I wish I could sit here and read all these precepts. Fire. Fire.